I was in charge of the committee looking for the new CEO, I thought about Larry Minnix because I thought Larry hit everything in my top 10 list of what we needed for the leader of leading age. Number 10, those movie star good looks. I mean, perfect. Number 9, he's a Southern gentleman.
He hugs you, he looks right into your eyes, he's really interested in what you're doing.
Larry is a distinguished Southern gentleman that has had an uncanny ability to promote and lead this organization in an unprecedented manner.
He has some flaws, kleptomaniac tendencies. The White House budget for napkins goes up every time he visits and steals napkins.
Number 8, he's a Methodist minister. And because of that, his faith is very important in how he does his job.
He has been a great leader for me and a great inspiration for me, and really I used him as my mentor.
Larry is a leader that has the ability to get people that you wouldn't imagine working together effectively. Somehow, after a meeting with Larry, he convinces you that you volunteered for some work that he's assigned you.
Number 7 is he's got a cousin named Bubba.
Never met Bubba? Would love to meet Bubba.
I want to miss Bubba. I want to miss his Bubba stories.
Whenever he gets ready to open his mouth to impart wisdom in what might be a particularly difficult moment and starts to say, "And my cousin Bubba," we just all can't help but laugh.
For many years, I assumed that that was just a character, only to find out that there really is a cousin Bubba, and that Larry really does see him regularly.
Number 6, his family and his friends and his faith are very, very important to his life.
And that concept of family is what allowed Larry to be so engaging with the leading age family, because he embraces family and he has the ability to connect with people across all sectors.
Larry brought us together as a family. We all really do feel very close to him.
Larry's motto is, "This is serious work, so we better have fun doing it." And I would say at Leading Age, every day we have fun doing it.
People talk about Larry being a fun guy. I think it's overstated. He's really a pretty depressed guy. Most of us, after we spend a little time with him, we usually go to a bar and just drink our sorrows away. There's really nothing else to be done.
Number 5 is, he never met a stranger.
Larry has a way of starting a conversation and bringing the people in.
He could inspire you in a group of 5,000 from the stage, or he could connect one-on-one with a nurse aide from Detroit and get her to see her role in being a voice.
Number 4, what a great orator. He can talk about anything.
Larry is probably the best storyteller that I've ever experienced in my life. And he loves to tell stories. He loves to tell stories about his family. He loves to tell stories about animals.
This fetish with animal stories continues to this day.
It was a meeting, and one of the things that he said that day, that unless we were the lead sled dog, the view every day would be pretty much the same. And I thought that was one of the most insightful and deeply philosophical statements I had ever heard.
He loves to tell stories about his kids. He loves to tell stories about people that he's met with in Congress, and he loves to tell them over and over and over again.
But the thing about every one of these stories is that they take a very complex issue and they make it simple and easy for us to understand.
Larry uses humor to shorten the distance between people.
Larry has a sense of humor, totally. He should have been a comedian, really. You know what I mean, on a part-time job. He should be working them comedy clubs because he could do good.
My favorite kind of funny memory of Larry is actually a story he tells about himself. It's lengthy, it takes side trips along the way, but I will just say that it is Larry on a cruise ship getting a seaweed wrap massage. And that's all I have to say about that.
Number 3 is he truly loves older people.
Larry loves to talk about his mama, and I think that he really adored her. And loving his mother was one of the things that impassions him to really love and care about the elders and want to give them a voice.
Larry is a prophet around representing people who are aging across the world.
Number 2 was also one of the most important. which is he was one of us. He was a provider.
Larry is really a member's member.
This is his call in his life. Those of us who've worked in this field for a long time also feel that sense of call, and that's one of the bonds we have had with Larry. He's an extension of us.
But number one was really the most important for me, is he has passion in his gut for our missions.
He's never on the sidelines, and he doesn't tolerate you being on the sidelines either. He invites you into the work with all of what you've got to give.
Larry is as wacky as he is impactful in the field of aging services.
One of the first things that Larry did early on in his time at Leading Age was quality first.
His work on the alignment agreement between the national and the state associations.
Larry was very instrumental in bringing diversity to the national level.
The inclusion of class was a phenomenal process.
The creation of the CAST Commission, the Center for Aging Services Technologies.
The Academy is another major accomplishment.
We, I think, are now a credible source of expertise to elected officials and their staff, and that's because of Larry's leadership.
I think the retired future holds Wednesdays at the diner with chicken and dumplings for $8.95.
We've declined the request to have him consider being the next pope, but we absolutely think that he should be considering running for president of the United States.
Well, Larry probably ended up worrying about what his wife wants for breakfast, and either waffles or eggs. And when I think about it, knowing Larry like I know him, he probably ended up picking the waffles.
There's probably a book somewhere in his future, and I see the title of that book being, quote, Abraham Lincoln was wrong. You can fool all the people all the time.
I just hope whatever Larry does continues to share his little Larryisms and send us a Bubba story or two.
I think Larry is too energetic to sit down and watch TV all day.
If he thinks he's going to move into the sunset to his rocker, I think he's wrong. And to quote Larry, that dog won't hunt.
I also hope that he gets to be open to all kinds of new adventures.
Well, I want him to dance more. Yeah.
Whatever he's going to do will be done with great passion, with great energy, and whatever he touches won't be the same when he leaves it.
He'll enjoy himself, and I'm so glad. He really deserves it.
Larry, my mom would refuse to say goodbye. Goodbye was too final for her. So she says to her children, to her grandchildren, and to great-grandchildren when they're walking out the door, Vaya con Dios, go with God. So Larry and Kathleen, Vaya con Dios, and I'm going to add this one, y con mucho amor, with much love.